Wait, are you wearing yellow glasses?
I am, Jenny, because these are the glasses that you wear when you go and look for Yooper lights so that you don't blind yourself with your flashlight. Jenny,
You already matched up?
I have 2 pairs.
Did you get the kit? Did you buy the kit?
I bought the kit, so I bought this like right after we found out about it. I was like, I must have this immediately because Duncan and I went up north, and that's the year we went up to Copper Harbor, and I looked and looked and I didn't find any. But I was like, yeah, I bought them. So I have 2 pairs, Jenny. So I got one for me and one for Duncan, and I got the flashlight, and then I also got the battery charger with an extra battery, and you can plug it into your car if you need to.
Perfect.
And then I also got, it came with 3 Yooper stones, so I knew what they looked like when they weren't lit up.
Ermagerd. Okay. Ann Brothers is ready to talk about Yooper lights today. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Sunday. It is 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And it is finally, here we are in the great state of Michigan, where it was so humid yesterday. It felt like we lived in Louisiana. The dew point in Kalamazoo, Michigan topped out yesterday at 76 degrees, which is asinine for a dew point. That's like Louisiana dew point. That's like New Orleans dew point. So stupid.
It was so crazy. You should have seen my hair, Jenny. I was like, I finally just had to put hair paste in it because I was like, I can't. It was literally like this. I was like, I looked like I had sat and teased my hair for hours.
From like the 70s. Yeah, it was thick yesterday.
And when I was at work, people are like, oh, what did you do to your hair? I was like, nothing.
I just exist. I exist. Yeah, so it was crazy yesterday. So waking up this morning and throwing open the windows and the fact that it was cool and breezy. All I know is this: air masses matter. They matter. Air masses matter.
It was very something you hear often if you live in Michigan. It's very up north today. You know, it was like that cool, not quite in the 70s, but sunny, really sunny. And so you're in the sun, and it's like, oh, it's really nice. We get in the shade, you're a little chilly, and there's a bit of a breeze. So it was very up north today.
Yeah, I mowed some lawn today, and I didn't even sweat today. Not even a little bit. It was amazing. It was like I did stuff after I mowed lawn. It was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I cleaned the chicken coop, and I didn't even feel. I was like, oh, that was easy today. I wonder why it was so hard yesterday. I don't know, because it was 100.
It was 100. Yeah, the high temperature yesterday was only 85 degrees, but the heat index was 99 yesterday because it was like Louisiana. It was ridiculous. So so here we are. It's a absolutely beautiful, sunny, breezy, lighthearted Sunday. We are talking about Yooper lights today, and we'll talk about why we're talking about Yooper lights in just a minute. We'll get into the whole thing about why Yooper lights are amazing and why you're going to need yellow glasses and a bunch of flashlights and like a rake and all this sort of stuff. But we'll get to that. So anyway, you guys, welcome. You are watching / listening to the Brother Sisters, Smart Dumb Fun with the Brother Sisters. I am Janice Brothers, and with me is my sister,
Ann Brothers.
Nicely done. And so here we are on a Sunday, so you can learn things about stuff. This is what we do. And today you're going to learn about Yooper lights. And we just got done really planning out our July. I think we have an action-packed July coming up. So I know it's the last day of June, the last day of Pride Month. I've had the song Last Man Dancing going through my head all day today because I feel like that's just an awesome gay pride song. So, there you go.
Exactly. No, that's a super fun song. I should put that on my playlist. I'm like, oh, super fun song.
Super fun.
I just added Minnie the Moocher today. I was like, how is this not on my playlist?
Oh, good one.
I know, Cab Calloway, Minnie the Moocher. I'm like, oh man, I love that song. Why is it on my list? So I put it on my list.
I don't know. Good job, Ann Brothers. I love it when you when you remember songs that you have forgotten about. That's a great example of a song that you might have forgotten about. That's an amazing song. That's what's great about music is that you can forget about a song and then you hear it and like, boom, list. There we go.
That's I have to admit, I know some people are like sad because people don't listen to albums. They don't listen to them in order, but damn, this whole pick and choose really suits my personality, which is I like what I like and I want to listen to that right now.
Totally. Now there are times when I will play an album. Like I'll look through my playlists and stuff and I'll find an album that I really love because there's, and that's one of the cool things about albums is that you can go through and find songs that never make the radio or never make a, like a Spotify and are just as good as anything that gets released. I love albums like that where you're like, there's not a dog on the album. So That's great.
We're talking to you, Kate Bush. We're talking to you.
We are talking specifically to you, How We Love You.
Exactly.
I still to this day believe Hounds of Love is literally a perfect album.
It totally is. It's
Hounds
totally
of Love is perfect.
And that's the problem that I have is that when I listen to Kate Bush, I want to listen to the whole album. I don't want just one song. I have to listen to the whole album.
Yes.
Kate Bush, that's you.
Kate Bush. Yep. Perfect album.
Okay, also, Peter Gabriel's Us.
Oh, that's another one that is pretty much perfect.
Perfect. Exactly. So both of those two. Yeah. If you need to listen to that, again, that makes us Gen X. But I mean, if you need to listen to a couple of awesome albums front to back, Us, Peter Gabriel, and of course, Hounds of Love, Kate Bush. Ooh, Jenny, we need devotional Kate Bush candles.
Oh, I want that. I want that. There's got to be one out there somewhere. Somebody on Etsy is making a Kate Bush prayer candle. You know they are.
So I want that.
And if you're not and you're listening, you need to do that right now.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Good. We will buy them.
I love it.
Me too.
Yes. And pay too much for them.
Naturally.
Okay.
Naturally. Yeah, exactly.
All right, then. Why wouldn't I? All right. All right. So anyway, shall we get into it? YOOPERLITES 2020. Now, this is actually a show that we did 4 years ago. We first started talking about YOOPERLITES jumped onto our radar 4 years ago, and they're actually becoming a thing now, which is fine.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody should get to enjoy nature in their own way. And if you want to dig around on the shores of Lake Superior looking for YOOPERLITES, get out there. And we'll talk about how not to be a dick when you're looking for your YOOPERLITES a little bit later in the show. So yeah, here we go. Anne, would you like to take us through our synopsis?
I would love to, Jenny Brothers. So we are Anne and Janice Brothers. Our last name is Brothers, and we are sisters. So, truth. We're in our 50s, which makes us Generation X, and which also means if you're the 9th caller, you win 2 tickets to see Rick Springfield at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Let's go.
Nice ad there, Jenny. Pontiac Silverdome.
Thank you very much. The Pontiac Silverdome.
Pontiac, which no longer exists, as I believe Rick Springfield does not either, but maybe he does.
He probably does. And he's probably singing the same 4 songs, and women are probably still throwing their underwear at him. So
exactly.
Good job, Rick Springfield.
Exactly. They're Generation X. We're all just really happy to see each other. So all right. We talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, actually, fun stuff, or any combination of the 3. We are not cool or hip or sexy. And we know this because, wait, I see a cat.
And there you go.
And there you go. Because that happened to me on my walk on Thursday. I was walking by somebody's house with a beautiful enclosed sunroom, 4 cats. I stood there and tried to get the cat's attention for a full 2 minutes. Kitties, kitty,
yeah, I know. And you're shamelessly doing that. And then you give cats, you pretend that you're cat. You're like, who's a good kitty? Kitty's mad. Kitty's not mad. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Tracy Larson is with us today.
Hey.
Rick Springfield is a DJ, a radio show. There we go. Rick Springfield. I love it. Tracy, this is why we love our listeners, because they inform us of things that we don't know. For instance, what is Rick Springfield up to today? He's probably a host of a Sirius XM channel on the 80s. I would bet money on that.
I would bet money. Actually, he was in a movie a number of years ago with Meryl
Streep.
Streep.
Ricky and the Flash.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's it was a Cody Diablo movie.
He wrote
it. She wrote it. She didn't direct it though, and it's a kind of a musical, and the music in it is awesome. It's a very good movie. It did not do well, but dang, if you have a chance, Jenny, see it.
Ricky and the Flash. Okay.
Yeah, Ricky and the Flash. It's a good movie, and the only reason I saw it was Cody Diablo, and I'm a big fan of her movies. So, and I was like, this is such an unusual. The thing is, Meryl Streep's character is not super likable, and I think that's one of the reasons why it didn't do well. Is because she's a woman, she's a Gen Xer, and she made some very I don't want to say poor decisions, but unusual decisions. And it can make her seem unlikable. So I think that's one of the reasons why it didn't do well. But it's got this phenomenal cast, phenomenal music, and it's a good story. So Ricky and the Flash.
Nice. Cool.
There you go.
And yes, Tracy has confirmed that it is in fact an 80s channel on Sirius XM. And why wouldn't it be? Let's face it, Rick Springfield is one of those iconic figures of the 80s. So
He is.
unashamedly, yes.
Exactly. So anyway, we're not a celebrity influencer or true crime podcast, and no one should trust. And really, no one should trust us with important stuff like that. So there you go.
No.
Smart, dumb, fun. That's our thing.
Smart, dumb, fun. That's what we do.
We're great to listen to when you want to learn things about stuff or when you are mowing the lawn. So very good time to do that. Yep. This podcast is not G or PG or even PG-13 because what the fuck do you want from us? We are only human.
Correct.
Anyway, you can join us on our website or Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. We're right next to Rick Springfield on the Spotify.
Yes, that's correct.
Like us, follow us, hit the bell, leave us a review. Come on, folks. Give us your feedback with our questions and answers and our polls. And you can ask Alexa to play us, and she will do it.
Play us instead of Rick Springfield.
Exactly. I mean, how many times? Yes. I mean, I do have to admit, Jesse's Girl is one of my go-tos when I'm at karaoke because I think it's hilarious. I also like the rock riff right in the middle. It's like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was like,
what can I find a woman like that? Okay, good. Yeah.
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah. You don't want to hear us. You do not want us to sing that. You want to hear Rick Springfield singing that. We get it.
You do. Or maybe you want to hear us sing. It's fine too.
I don't know. So, yes, you can absolutely support us for free. You don't have to pay a dime. All you got to do is like us, follow us, subscribe to us, leave a review on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your content. That's all you got to do. Facebook, the Instagram, we're not picky. We love your follows wherever you are.
Exactly.
Whatever you're doing.
Love us. Enjoy us.
You love us. You really love us. So there you go. All right. Let's talk about the smart, dumb, fun stuff that we encountered this week. And we will start with you.
Thank you very much. Mine was both fun and smart. My friend, Jeannie, who's been on our show before talking about murder podcasts, and my husband, Duncan, we went to Hamtramck, Michigan, which they believe is a made-up last name. So there you go. We learned that.
Who believes it's made up?
There are no, it was named after a general from the Civil War, but there are no other examples of the last name of Hamtramck except for this one family. So they think it was kind of a made-up name.
Oh, dude made up his own name. Why not? Why not?
Why not? Yeah. So anyway, that's one of the fun facts we learned on our Detroit history tour, Meandering Meal, a walking progressive dinner tour of Hamtramck. So we got to eat lots of delicious food and learn lots of cool things about Hamtramck. And it was fun.
So for those of you that don't know what Hamtramck is, there's two essentially cities that are, so you have Detroit, and right in the middle of Detroit are two cities of their own. Hamtramck is one and Highland Park is the other. And they're literally just surrounded by Detroit. They're like, there's Detroit, and then you got these two little islands right in the middle of it. So there you go. And, okay, and tell me the fact again about the bars in Hamtramck.
Oh, okay. So there's no limit for liquor licenses in Hamtramck. If you want to open a bar, all you have to do is apply to the state to get a liquor license. You don't have to appeal to the city. So in Hamtramck, every 1.6 blocks, because the city is only like 2.6 miles long, so every 1.6 blocks, there's a bar and or restaurant. And there's a church that if you stand in the nave of the church, you are the farthest point from any bar in Hamtramck. But as soon as you step outside, there's a bar on all four corners.
So if you want to get drunk, go to Hamtramck.
Yeah. Or if you want to open a bar, go to Hamtramck. That's yeah, I thought I was like, oh my God, that is so hysterical. But yeah, so that's what you can do. You can go to Hamtramck and eat and drink. And that's what we did. We drank. Oh, and this is the interesting. Hamtramck was known to be a Polish community for most of its existence. And then in the last 30 to 40 years, they've gotten a very large influx of people from Bangladesh and Yemen. So the food scene there is great. I mean, the food scene there is awesome. If you want Polish food, if you want Mediterranean food. If you want, kind of Indian food, like the Bangladesh has a lot of Indian influence. Oh my God, the food there is so amazing. We had so much great food. I wish I had had 4 stomachs, but so much delicious food. Yeah, so
Awesome.
it's a fun place. It's one of those really lively parts of Detroit where it's every house seems like there's plenty of people, lots of bars, and lots of people walking around and just enjoying all the things that Hamtramck has to offer.
Cool. I like
Mhm.
that. That sounds
Yeah,
fun.
it's fun. And of course, we did an interview with Bailey Sissoy, who is the founder of Detroit History Tour and a Detroit History Club. So if you want to go back in our archives and learn more about Detroit History Tours and Club, please do that because she is a blast. And she knows, we got to see her. I was like, oh my gosh, I know her. I know her. And
We're fans. We're super
yeah,
fans.
exactly, super fans. So, so if you want to go back in our archives and listen to an awesome interview with an amazing entrepreneur and fun, just all around fun gal, you could do that.
Detroit History Tours. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
if you just want to go and hang out in Detroit and learn about a fascinating city that is, I think it's just on the rise. I mean, it's just really cool what they've been doing in Detroit. Detroit's making a comeback.
Mhm.
Actually, Ann, what we have to do, we have to go to the Ford station. We have to go to the
Oh
train
yeah,
station.
yeah.
We have to
They
go there.
offer. You can go in 2 times. There's 2 times a week where you can go, and they have like a little independent walking tour of the building. And I
Nice.
thought we could do that sometime in August.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Actually, I can remember sitting there, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. We were
Mhm.
getting ready to walk into Green Dot Stables in Detroit, which is one of the little restaurants down there. And I can remember you could see the station from there.
Mhm.
And looking at the derelict station, just like so kind of sad and just like,
Right.
God, I would love to see that when it was back in its heyday. And the fact that I can go do that now makes me
Yeah.
so happy. So I'm super jazzed about that. Can't wait to go see it.
No, it's, they've been doing so much work with it. I mean, for decades, it was just
Yeah.
abandoned and just, oh man, it was so heartbreaking because it was such a beautiful building. And, Ford, good job. Ford made their
Good job,
headquarters there, and
Ford.
they
Yep.
totally I guess they had a basement that there, a sub basement that they didn't know about, wasn't in the plans, and it was flooded.
Oh my gosh, no.
I know. So, oh my gosh, it was a mess. It took them longer and more money than they thought, as everything does.
Always. Whatever you
Mhm.
think it's gonna cost, multiply that by 10.
Yeah,
However much time you
exactly.
think it's gonna take, multiply that by 5. So,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
rule for doing any job. I'm like, "You think it's gonna take you 5 hours to paint that? It's actually gonna take you 25, okay?"
Yeah, no, exactly, that's exactly,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to, uh, improving an old building.
An old building that has literally been left to the elements for 50 years.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
the elements take things back very quickly. So,
Mhm, yeah, when you got trees
okay,
growing
so
on the roof, you got problems.
yes. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Mm,
crap. All right. So for me, I looked at something. I'm addicted right now to It's called the David Attenborough fans page on Facebook. Addicted to it, and it's because they have the best photos and stuff and things, and mostly it's entirely nature. Because uh, Sir David Attenborough's he's a big nature dude, and I'm a huge fan of his work and his pages. And he's got all the best nature shows, and he's got all the best nature photos. So this photo that you're looking at right now, it's a time lapse of an osprey diving for a fish, and it's so tight, I can't even believe it. So,
yeah, no,
and
that's amazing.
and the photography on this page in general is just pretty stunning. So if you ever just want something that's not stressful, not political, won't make you sad, go to the David Attenborough fans page on Facebook and look at the stunning photography or whatever he's talking about. It's just toy. I love it. So that's my thing this week is that when I'm feeling a little down, feeling a little blue, I go to the David Attenborough fans page or I go to the bird perch and I look at birds. So
Yeah,
I know.
perfect.
By the way, speaking of birds, as we did our bird show last week, and
Mhm.
this week the Merlin app identified a Carolina wren in my backyard. So
Oh, very good, yeah,
very excited about that.
yeah.
Noisy little thing. So
Oh, yeah,
yes.
I have a couple that, like, was, squabbling around the house for, like, 3 days trying to get that special lady to agree to,
Hey girl, hey, come
"Hey,
on
here."
over here. I got something
Exactly.
special for you. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think she did.
Bummer, dude.
I know. I know.
Right on. All right. So, Ann, should we talk about? Should we get into this Yooperlite stuff? Should we yoop it up?
Yoop
Okay.
it up.
Yoop it up. All right. So the first question that you might be asking yourself, if you did not see our show a number of years ago, is what is a Yooperlite? Well, okay. First off, you have to understand. So if we're looking at, I'm going to jump ahead here real quick. If you're looking at, hang on. If you're looking at the state of Michigan, Yooperlite refers to the fact that Michigan has two peninsulas. Michigan is a state that's made of two peninsulas. The Lower Peninsula, which is where we live right now, we are considered what are called trolls because we live under the bridge. There's only two ways. If you live in the Lower Peninsula, there's essentially two ways to get there. You can two ways. You can drive up the Lower Peninsula, cross the Mackinac Bridge, and get to the UP that way, or you can drive around Chicago up through Wisconsin and go that way because the UP is essentially an extension of the state of Wisconsin. Anyway, the Upper Peninsula, otherwise known as the UP, if you're from there, you're known as a Yooper. So if you're below the bridge, you're a troll. If you live above the bridge, you're a Yooper. So there you go. That's where you get the Yooper reference. So a Yooperlite is a cool rock that glows when you hit it with a long wave ultraviolet light. There you go. I know. Simple as that.
Exactly.
As far as what the rock is itself, you have to understand that that whole basin that holds the Lower Peninsula or that holds Lake Superior is almost entirely igneous rock. So if you look at the whole of the Great Lake basins, they're slightly different. Like the Michigan Basin, which is what the Lower Peninsula sits on, that's essentially that's almost entirely limestone and sedimentary rocks. Where on the other hand, and that's all because this all used to be an inland sea. So you have a lot of, we'll call them dead shelled animals that made up these huge limestone deposits. So like the bottoms of Lake Michigan and Lake Huron and Lake Erie are almost entirely sedimentary rock. But when you look at like Lake Ontario and Lake Superior, they're almost entirely Rift Valley and as a volcanic Rift Valley. And as a result of that, almost entirely igneous rock that forms the basin of both Lake Ontario and Lake Superior. So what you have is you have these mineral deposits. You have a lot of granite. You have a lot of feldspar-based rocks. You have a lot of syenite, and that's what Yooperlite is. It's a mineral, specifically syenite, that has another mineral, sodalite, within it. Sodalite is fluorescent. As a result of that, when you hit it with UV light, it glows. So cyanite's kind of a granity. You see a lot of syenite within granite. It's mostly orthoclase feldspar, which is another mineral. So there's almost no quartz in it or mica, which is what separates it from granite. That's one of it looks very similar to granite, but it's missing the quartz piece of it and the muscovite piece of it. So there you go. There's a lot of minerals. There's a lot of aluminum and silicon, oxygen and sodium, which is not surprising because both silicon and oxygen are the two most abundant elements in the Earth's crust. So you can basically say that if it's some sort of igneous rock, it's going to have a lot of those things in it. Okay, so where do you find a Yooperlite? Well, the name says it all. You don't see Yooperlites in the Lower Peninsula. You don't see it along Lake Michigan or Lake Huron or Ontario or Lake Erie. You see it specifically in Lake Superior. So especially along the southern shore of the Upper Peninsula. So if you are now, those beaches are really rocky. So if you've got the time and the inclination and the ultraviolet light, you can look for Yooperlites. So mostly they can be found on the beaches on the south shore of Lake Superior from Whitefish Point to Marquette and along the Keweenaw Peninsula. Here's a handy map to help you out. So you can see where the big red circles are. The red circle on the right, that's essentially the Whitefish Point area. The middle circle, that's kind of the Marquette, Munising, Grand Marais stretch. And pretty much the whole of the south shore. If you have a rocky beach along the south shore of Lake Superior, you have the opportunity to find yourself a Yooperlite. Questions so far, Ann Brothers?
No, Jenny Brothers. I did show, if you are watching this on our video, I showed a close-up look of the rocks. I was looking at these and I was like, yeah, I see rocks like this, similar to this on the beaches, but you can see the mica and the quartz in it. These, they don't have the reflective quality that those other types have that you often see with the mica and the quartz in it.
That's true. Those things are they have a lot of luster to them. So good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So the question you might be asking yourself is, how do you find a Yooperlite? And you need to ask the guy. There's a picture down there of him. The guy, his name is Eric Rintamaki. And this is the guy that actually discovered Yooperlites for the first time. And I don't know the whole story about how he discovered them, but you need time, technique, and a UV light or a flashlight. So not a regular flashlight. You need specifically a UV flashlight. So the Eric recommends the Convoy S2, which is a 365 nanometer UV light with an LG light flashlight to go with it. 6 watts, gray.
That's what I have. I have a Convoy.
Okay.
That's what I have.
Well, we're going to tell you all about Eric Rintamaki and his website, because if you're gonna spend some money on this, give it to him. Okay, that's all I have to say. Give it to him. This is how this man makes a living now. So help him out. So buy his stuff, because there's lots of places where you can go and buy these things. Yes, you can go to Amazon. Yes, you can probably go to like the Bass Pro Shop or whatever, or you can buy it from Eric, because he's the one that's trying to make a living off of this. Okay, so if you're going to do this, you're going to need to do this at night, okay? Because you're not going to be able to see that light of quality of the UV coming back at you during the day. So this is a nighttime pursuit, which automatically makes it a little bit dangerous, because you're on a beach in the middle of the night, and who knows who else is out there. So there's things that you need to take a regular flashlight, because it is going to be the middle.
Like a bear.
Say that again.
Or what else?
Oh yeah, that's right.
A bear, because the best one of the best photos I ever took was a big old bear print right on the beach.
Oh, that is, and it's like you can't mistake it. There is no doubt that's a bear print.
Yeah, so it might be somebody, or it might be a bear.
Or it might be a bear. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, take a flashlight. Take a regular flashlight. You're gonna take something to mark the beach so you can orient yourself. You might not think that's a thing, because you're like, well, I'll be able to hear it. I'm like, some nights Lake Superior is so quiet and calm that the only way you're at the lake is if you're in the lake. So just keep that in mind. And that depending on where you are, sometimes those beaches tend to be a little bit steep. So you're going to want to make sure that you are taking something. I think glow sticks are probably your best bet, because A, they're easy to carry, B, they last a long time, and C, they're easy to see in the dark. So glow sticks is something that you should definitely have with you. Something to carry your rocks, like a backpack, that would be a good one. Big old 5-gallon bucket. Backpack is probably easier, because you can spread the load a little bit differently. If you're trying to carry rocks with a big bucket, that you're at the mercy of how long that handle holds out.
Yeah, and like if you get a lot of rocks, it's heavy. It gets very heavy to carry, like with your arms. If you're carrying on your shoulders and back and spreading that out, it can make a difference.
You spread it out to those larger muscle groups, like your legs and your butt, your glutes. Let them do the work. They're big. They want that. Your little arm muscles, man. Those little small muscles, they're good for quick stuff, but they're not good for the long haul. So there you go.
You don't walk on your hands, do you? There you go.
You don't. You do not. Excellent point. All right. So you need proper footwear. Now, this one's tricky, because proper footwear means that you want to be able to keep your feet as warm and dry as possible. So if you look at the website with our buddy Eric, he's usually wearing the big old waders. So you're going to want to, because you'll end up probably finding some of those Yooperlites in the water. So you want to have something that you can go into the water with. Now, I'm not saying you want to go waist deep or anything like that, but you might end up in water that's knee deep. So you're going to want proper footwear. Do not underestimate how cold Lake Superior is. For those people that are from this part of the world and have spent time around Lake Superior is effing cold all the time. All the time, especially if you're going to do your hunting in the spring. That lake's probably not going to be much above freezing. So, even late in the season, if it's even August, it's still probably, that water's probably only in the 50s. So it's dangerous. So make
Yeah.
sure that you're keeping yourself warm and dry.
Mhm.
You need to wear proper clothing, and not just for the season, because even in summer, it gets cold in the Upper Peninsula in the evenings. So like a night like tonight in Michigan, where it's nice and easy breezy, it's probably only going to be in the 40s tonight in the Upper Peninsula.
Duncan and I were in Marquette one summer, and they had a frost warning, and it was
Yeah.
July.
Yes.
Mhm.
And you're up there in the elements. It's breezy on those beaches. Even when it's not breezy, it's still breezy. It always feels 10 degrees colder when you're on the beach. So just make sure that you have layered up, that you've got something to cover your head, that you've got the right footwear. And again, if you're hunting at night, it's going to be even colder. So bring
Mhm.
clothing.
Mhm.
Wrap yourself up. So dress like
Yeah,
a Yooper.
you can
Remember, you
always take
guys,
stuff off. You can't, you know.
you yes, you can always take stuff off and put it in the backpack that you're wearing, so
Mhm.
your stuff and your rocks. Just remember, you guys, the rule, there's no bad weather, there's only bad clothing. So,
Yes.
yay.
I don't know. I've been in some pretty fucking bad weather, and I don't think it would have mattered. It didn't matter what I was wearing. I was wearing a
That's
freaking
true.
car, and it didn't matter.
Ex Touche, and brothers, touche.
Exactly.
Yeah, whoever said that's a dumbass.
Exactly, Joe Peters.
Oh,
Oh,
getting
oh,
thrown under the bus. It's okay.
exactly. Sorry, Joe. It's our show.
Yes. Alright, so you can also find Lights by going to store.uperlites.com. And, I'm gonna tell you, this dude has it all. It's here, I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually open this up real quick
Mhm,
and bring this open so you can actually see it. We'll go ahead and share this tab right here. Can you see that?
mhm. I can, Jenny.
Okay, good. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff. So here's the fun part is that you can do gift giving, jewelry, flashlights, Yooper lights. Now, if you go to the flashlights, you can buy the whole package. Now, and I believe earlier you were showing us what comes in the package,
Uh-huh.
the Yooper light package. And this is one of my favorite pictures right here because it shows you what a Light looks like in the day. And they're kind of this boring little gray rock, a
Mhm,
rock that you would not give a second thought to. But at
mhm,
night, when you hit it with the UV light, it looks like this, which is the picture on the right here. So if you're looking at this, uh, Light during the day, Light at night.
mhm.
What? Yeah,
But
which
yeah.
is totally tight. Yeah, this website's banging. I was looking
Mhm.
at it earlier. I'm like, I love this website.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can. So if you again, there's the interesting stuff about the now you can if you don't feel like digging around, if you want a Yooper light and you don't feel like digging around in the beach, you're like, "That's for the birds," then
Mhm.
go ahead and just buy one from this guy. So
Yeah.
he's got Yooper lights for sale, you can buy them. You've got the extra coin, and that's how you wanna spend your money, do it.
Mhm.
Uh, there's different equipment that you can buy. There's all the different flashlights. What's cool about this page is you're not quite what to buy for flashlights. He does a great job of taking you through several different flashlights, and he goes through a little compare and contrast of what it's good for. He recommends the Convoy, which is the one right here, the second one. It's the most popular light, in terms of budget friendly, that sort of thing. Like I said, you can buy whole packages of Uber
Mhm.
light hunting stuff from him, and what I think is cool is when you buy the package, you actually get a Uber light with
Mhm.
it. So that way you do have one that you can compare everything else to. So, you know.
Yeah, because that's what I did. I bought the Light Hunter instead of the basic package because it came with a little bit more stuff because I'm a sucker for a package. And I also wanted to see, what am I looking at during the day? It's like, and again, it's something I probably would have just, and I love to like dig rocks and collect rocks. And it's something I might have just walked right by because I like shiny stuff. And this doesn't have any of the quartz or mica in it that makes it shiny. So yeah, I wanted to know, I'm like, what am I looking for in the day? And then, how's it different? So yeah, that's fun. It's nice to do it's like, I don't know. I like to have all
Yeah.
the information.
Well, and I think it's important if you're going to go out hunting, spending your time, you can go out there and just kind of wing it. But again, you're going to a place in the middle of the night. It's,
Mhm,
a little bit treacherous. It's a little
mhm,
bit, the best thing you can do for yourself is to scout, to do your scouting
mhm,
online ahead of time. And it's also smart to do your scouting in the daytime. So if you're going to go
mhm,
hunt in a particular place, go during the day, look around, see where the parking situation is, see where the walking situation is, see what the beach is like, see what you're up against. And then so that way when you go in the middle of the night, you're not literally, pardon the pun, just, going blind because that
mhm.
is, I'm a big believer in scouting. So that's an important thing. Preparation is the key if you want to be safe, if you want to as safe as you can be in that sort of situation. So that's what I think. Or now, Anne, here's the thing. If you want to go out and hunt Yooperlites, but you're just not comfortable because the thing about the southern shore of the Upper Peninsula, it's still a little bit wild up there. When you
It's
go to
remote.
the West Coast, when you go to the West Coast of Michigan, there's a lot of people there. There are parts of the UP where you're going to go to beaches where there's nobody there. So you can always go on the Yooperlite tour. That's right. Eric Rintamaki actually runs a tour through the store. So if you go to the, I'm going to go back to this particular website here. And as you can see, you can actually go on the tour. And okay, so a couple of things. Number one, it's pricey. It's $300 a tour. However, you're not going with 50 people. It's you and 4 other people that are going on the tour because so Eric Rintamaki himself runs the tour. He puts you in the side by side and he drives you to his favorite little remote spots to go look for these things. But wait, there's more. And would you like to talk about what else you get for your $300?
Dinner is included.
That's right.
It's not some paper bag lunch. Oh, no, no, no. You are going to eat at Pine Stump Junction for a complimentary dinner before the trip. And guess what? Dinner includes anything on the menu. You want pizza?
Right.
You get a pizza. You want a ham and cheese sandwich? You get a ham and cheese sandwich. You want a cheeseburger and fries? You get cheeseburger and fries. Exactly. Also, they sell beer there and gasoline, and they can do stump grinding.
Now, if you've ever spent any time in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, you'll understand why that's amazing because it's funny because that's the way it is in the UP. Because in the UP, summer is the season where everybody makes their tourist dollars, or snowmobile season is where people make their tourist dollars, and you got to make hay when the sun shines, which means that if it's time to go looking for Yooperlites, then you take people to see Yooperlites. If it's time to take people snowmobiling, you take up snowmobiling, and if it's time to grind some stumps, you grind stumps.
Yeah, it's if you are not if a lot of the UP is hustling, and if you are not into hustling to make a living, then you're probably not going to live in the Upper Peninsula because it is a hard place still. Like Marquette is still a big town. It's got a university there,
big hospital.
Yeah, some amazing restaurants, but most of the UP is remote, and you got to really know everybody around you because you might lose power for 10 days or 2 weeks, because you're out in the middle of it. It can be a hard place to live, and you got to hustle to make a living to stay there if you want to stay there. It's a very beautiful place if you've never been there, but it is not easy on people. It's where bears live.
It's where bears live. So yeah, if you don't feel like branching out on your own to try and find Yooperlites, then go with the expert. Go on the tour, spend that money. Yes, it's pricey. It's, like I said, it's $300 a person, but again, you get your delicious meal at the Pine Stump Junction, and you get, several hours of
Pine Stump Junction restaurant, 4.8 stars on Google, 4.7 stars on Facebook. So it's no joke, people.
Yeah. They have brisket pizza. No, pulled pork pizza. So
PPP, pulled pork pizza.
PPP, pulled pork pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it was like, I think Jenny and I are going to save our money, and we're going to, because this year, everything, like, there were only in the 4 days that we could still, like maybe go. They were all booked except for 4 days, and it was only one spot was still available. So I think Jenny and I need to save our pennies and go do that next year and hang out. And maybe we can get Eric on our podcast.
Let's go, Eric. Yeah, because we're going to talk about Yooperlites. I want to talk about with the guy that knows, that discovered these. So
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And again, I want to hear the story. I want to know how what happened. Like, what did he know to do this? Did he just stumble across it? Yeah, I want to hear the full story. So
yeah,
and I want to hear it from him. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you have this on there in another slide, Jenny. I'm sorry, but you need to make sure that you have your protective glasses. So
Yes.
that's very important
Wait, for
because you
those of you
are.
that I gotta zoom in on Anne for those
Oh,
go ahead, put those
yeah.
back on. Yeah.
Listen, my glasses because you are using UV light, which is can damage your eyes. So you want to make sure that while you're using your glasses can go over them if you need to wear your glasses at the same time. It's not very attractive or comfortable, but yeah. So you need to wear your UV protection glasses. So
So
that's very
Anne,
important.
I just had a thought. You just
Mhm.
provided more evidence. You have provided more evidence that we are not young, cool, hip, or sexy. Put those glasses back on.
Exactly. We will always wear our, it's funny because you have to wear
Yeah.
protective glasses when I make beads. I was like, I have my protective glasses on over my other
Right.
glasses because I can't
Yep.
see my beads. Well,
Yeah, that is yet more evidence of the not cool, hip, or sexy
yeah,
protective glasses.
protective glasses. And I got two pairs because that's how not cool or hip or sexy I am. I didn't get
Yeah,
a pair.
not
I got two pairs in case one of my not cool, hip, or sexy friends and or family member wants to go with me.
because this is what
Uh,
this is what the not cool, hip, or sexy people do. They go look for YOOPERLITES in the middle of the night on the cold shores of Lake Superior because why wouldn't you?
Right, exactly. Bars. Oh, that's not cool. Oh, you were like,
See, okay, but here's the thing though, is that you get your YOOPERLITES and then you go to the bar to celebrate.
exactly. Look, I
Yeah,
got two rocks. I love
I got 2
rocks.
rocks. I know.
Other
I know.
more rocks.
Yeah, so that's yeah. So anyway, you have options, you guys. If you wanna go find YOOPERLITES, you can do it yourself, or you can go with the experts. But again, just be careful. So let's talk about that. Oops. Uh, that anyway, that's the YOOPERLITE tour. So again, if you wanna go on the tour, you can do that. Hang on, I gotta get this back. I gotta put us back in. Oh, here we go.
Ooh,
And
that's
again,
nice.
300 per person. Yes. So go do this. Save your pennies. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save some
Mhm,
pennies. We're gonna go do this. All right. So
mhm,
when it comes to finding Uperlites, here's a couple of things. Don't be a dick when you're hunting for
mhm,
Uperlites, okay? Because this is the big thing is that when you have people that this is the hard part about social media that makes things popular is that then people think it's a license to be a dick because they're like they want to have that experience. They want to put that experience on social media and then as a result of that they end up being a dick. So be smart, do not endanger yourself or others. So again, you guys, it makes a lot of sense for you to scout ahead of time, do
mhm,
some internet research. If you're going to go up there, then scout out where you're going ahead of time. Pack it in, pack it out. So, if you're going to be there, you might be hunting for several hours. You might take a snack. You might take something to drink. Just make sure that you're not littering. Make sure that whatever you take out there, you take back with you. Make sure that you're on public beach, no private property unless you have permission. If there's somebody that lives on the beach there and you can knock on the door and say, "Hey, can I go look for Uperlites?" They might tell you go fuck yourself, or they might be like, "Yeah, come on." But again, respect that property. Please respect state land limits. In other words, if you're harvesting stuff off state land, a lot of times they'll have limits on what you can take, how much, how many pounds, how many, so make sure that you're respecting those. And again, you guys respect national park rules about collecting, which means don't collect. If you're on
mhm,
national park land, they ask you don't collect. Not only should you not do that because again, you're leaving it for everybody else to enjoy. B, it's bad luck and you will be cursed. hmm So
cursed. Yeah.
cursed.
Or you'll have
Yeah.
Jenny, standing next to you saying, "And put that down, and put that down, and put that down," till I put it
Making you
down.
feel guilty.
Yeah,
Making you
and
feel
Jenny's the
guilty
only
the
one that
whole
can do
time.
it. So sometimes
Yep.
Duncan can, but usually it's just Jenny.
I believe I believe in that. I believe in the mission of national parks, and I believe that if you're on national park land, leave it alone. You can pick it up and look at it. You can ooh and ah, take lots of pictures of it. You can be like recording yourself to put it on social media and then put it back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
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 And don't walk up to bison and take a picture of them. Come on.
Come on, people, wild animals. They may look like they're not interested and docile, but they will fuck you up.
Totally. And don't get into the springs at at Yellowstone National Park. Those are not hot tubs. Those are
Yeah,
boiling pots of water.
you will
Boiling means
die.
212 degrees.
You'll die.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a thing for
And you
me.
leave a mess. Ugh, a parboiled
Oh,
body is disgusting.
and then somebody's gonna have to fish that out, putting themselves in
Yeah.
danger. Oof.
Sloth and all
Anyway.
that. Ugh. Woof. Anyway,
Okay.
we digress.
Digressing, sorry, I got off into a tangent there. Okay, so if you'd like to know more, I've included a couple of videos. Uberlight Hunting 101. This is again, this video is made by
See.
uh,
Must see.
say
Must
it's must see.
must
Really
see.
good.
Mhm.
Yes. about 11 minutes long. It's worth your time. Highly recommend having that. And then one more thing. Black light to find. Again, you guys, if you're going to find Yooper lights, you have to have some sort of black light or UV light. Now, the ones that we showed you are a little bit on the pricey side, and those are the ones that come from the website. If that is just not within your wheelhouse and you still really want to go hunting, there are plenty of black lights available for under $10. And, so you can always do that. So don't let us discourage you from spending what you can spend in order to find you a Yooper light. And again, if you don't want to go digging around for a Yooper light, you can always buy them. So, but
and some of them come in jewelry. So if you're interested in a Yooper light piece of jewelry,
nice.
Exactly, for that special someone. I could be that special someone.
You could send your Yooper lights to the brother sisters at Brother Sisters Brother Sisters. So okay. So speaking of which, Ann and I are actually going Yooper light hunting at the end of July. So this is just sort of a fun thing to talk about. We're kind of priming the pump here because right now, you guys, tomorrow is July 1st, and if you're going to go to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, you need to get going. Okay. So prime time in the because what happens is, like, in June in the Upper Peninsula, it's fly season. Oof. So you don't want to go in June because it's bad. The first week in July, it's still very fly-y, kind of into the second week. So the prime time for you to go is essentially third week of July until Labor Day.
Yeah, even into because Jenny and I have been in September. We've gone all the way till the end of September, and had great weather. And then the next week, it usually snows. So,
yeah, I went for a conference. Yeah, I went for a conference once, and it was the first week of October, and I went for a conference, and the next week, this was in Marquette, and then the next week they had 2 feet of snow. So you're like, okay, just nailed it. Yeah,
exactly. So mid-July through August, pretty good. September can be iffy, but often pretty good. October, forget it.
Yeah, it's all bets are off. So yeah, and again, you guys just remember, the farther you go into, August, September, the more likely it is you're going to need some warmer clothes for sure, because the season up in the Upper Peninsula is short. And again, you don't really realize how north you are until you get there, and you're like, oh, I'm north.
Yeah. I mean, there are sections of the UP that are considered boreal forest. I mean, and that's what you find in Siberia. So
yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
So if you're going to go, you should go soon. Hotels are kind of at a premium in the Upper Peninsula as well, especially when you so if you're looking at where the area where if you're going on the tour, that part of the Upper Peninsula is pretty remote. So you're going to want to make sure that you're planning ahead of time, because there's not a lot up there in terms of hotels or lodging. You're kind of reliant more on bed and breakfast and things like that. So you'll have to do a little bit of homework. As far as places to stay, Sault Ste. Marie, there's a lot of hotels there, a lot of hotels in Marquette, pretty good hotel options in Munising, Michigan, a lot of camping. That's probably going to be your best bet if you're going to go up to the UP. Is plenty of places to camp, that's for sure. But
Newberry has a lot of family-run hotel options in Newberry. So
cool. So yeah, you just have to do a little bit of homework ahead of time. But can't stress enough how awesome the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is. It's beautiful. It's still kind of rustic. There's a little bit of it's rough around the edges in a way that the west coast of Lower Peninsula has sort of lost with, it's become a little bit glossy and, super hip and trendy, where the UP has its hip and trendy spots, don't get me wrong, but it's still got some places that are really rough around the edges, which is super fun.
Yeah.
So
it's beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, it is indeed.
And if you don't want to go, great, don't ruin it. Just order some rocks online.
Totally. Just ruin, yeah. And again, make sure that you take our advice as far as prepping and all that sort of good stuff. So
yeah, remember, you're outside, and outside is not necessarily dangerous, but it presents its own challenges. So and the thing is, like, if you get yourself in trouble, that means other people have to come and help you, which could put them in danger. So, protect yourself so you don't have to endanger anybody else.
For sure. Well, and brothers.
Yes,
I think we talked about YOOPERLITES.
I think we did.
Hopefully we've educated people enough. Hopefully they're interested now. Well done. You guys, you've done it. You've spent another hour or so, not quite an hour this week, learning things about stuff with the brother sisters. And remember, we want to hear from you. We would like you to answer our poll questions, or just our regular questions. Please give us your questions, concerns, comments, and confessions.
Confessions. We haven't heard any confessions yet, and I really want to hear some.
I know. Do you have any confessions, Anne? Anything you want to talk about?
I'm very dull now. I am very dull.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to confess either. So
I don't either.
Okay. Okay, it's fine. Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. All right. So yes, you spent another hour with us or so learning things about stuff. This week you learned about YOOPERLITES, which is a type of igneous rock / mineral that is heavy in sodalite and other minerals. It is UV, reacts UV light. So
and when it does react, it is bitchin'.
Bitchin' cool. I guess react is the wrong word. So it isn't reacting to anything. It's just that we can see what it's doing, what those electrons are doing when UV light is shined on it. So, there's that. So
reflecting a better word?
Reflecting? I guess it would be. I guess reflecting would be a better word. So, remember, you can always support us, the Brothers Sisters, by liking, following, or leaving a review, subscribing, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music. Ask Alexa. Yeah. Alexa knows us. We're friends. She likes us. So, you guys join us next week for our first show. So let's talk a little bit about July. So next week we got Anne is going wacky for wombats. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we've got a full week. We are going to be doing a Mount Rushmore this month with Jim and Tammy Peters, our Gen experts. We're good. They're experts. The movie Twisters is coming out. The very crazily long overdue sequel to Twister is finally coming out. Twisters with what's his name, who's hot right now. He's the flavor of the year. That one guy that was in Top Gun Maverick. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name. I'm just sad about Bill. I wish Bill was back.
I know.
Miles
I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, Duncan says Miles Teller. Miles Teller.
No, it's not. It's the other guy. It's the other flavor of the year.
It's the other. Oh, it's okay. Not Tom Cruise.
No, it's the other one.
It's the other one.
It's the blonde guy. Yeah, you'll see. It's that one guy. All right.
It's that one white guy.
It's that one white guy with blonde hair. And so Twisters is coming. So we will be talking about the sequel to Twisters. Hang on, I'm gonna mute. I got fire.
Oh, Jenny's got a fire truck going by.
I'm back. Yep, I'm good. So we got Twisters coming up. So we will have entertainment expert Chip Maley on with us. To talk about Twisters. We have the Polish Festival coming up at the end of the month. Yeah, we've got a full month. Yeah, so we'll be busy. We'll be doing stuff. We're going YOOPERLITE hunting ourselves at the end of July. We will come back in August and talk about that. So
I imagine there'll be a few posts that we do while we are YOOPERLITE hunting.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, all right. For some reason, my screen is frozen. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. Weird. You're still there. Screen is right here.
Okay, I got it back. Okay, good. All right, you guys. So again, Anne's talking about wacky wombats next week. Until that time, wait, I have to turn on the music. It usually cuts me out at this point when I turn the music on, so you might have to take over, Anne.
Okay, no problem. There's the music. There's our cue. Thank you again, Mad Max Caselli, Marvelous Max Caselli, for our awesome intro and outro music. Oh, Tracy Larson, thank you. Glenn Powell is the name of the dude from Twisters. Hot blonde guy. Glenn Powell, flavor of the year. Lick him up like an ice cream cone. Yummy. So,
Tracy, you're a super fan today. We're going to send you a
thank you. So, hey, do something smart, do something dumb, do something fun this week. We are out of here.